Warning: if you sleep without doing this, your brain loses $1,000 tonight. Your brain at 3 a.m. is a money magnet. But 99% of people block this flow with that error. No one has told you, but while you sleep, your subconscious keeps working. And the way it works defines whether you will wake up closer to the life you want or more attached to the reality they want to leave behind. Now imagine this. While your body rests, your mind may be being programmed, not by you, but by old patterns, fears, inherited beliefs. And that's exactly where the blockade lies. The question is, are you controlling this schedule? Or is it being controlled by it? Many people believe that manifestation is just thinking positive and waiting, but it is not. This is like putting a note in the mouth of a bottle and throwing it into the sea, hoping for the universe to find it. The manifestation of truth, the one that changes your life, is done with precision, intention, and above all, with the right state of mind. This state happens exactly at that moment between sleep and awakening, when the logical mind shuts down and the creative mind enters the field. This video is an invitation for you to activate this power before going to sleep. And I'm not talking about magic tricks or beautiful phrases. I'm talking about a code, a simple internal adjustment, but one that most people ignore. A silent ritual which transforms your subconscious into a real magnetic field. It doesn't matter if you're broke, in debt, or frustrated with the life you're leading. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried and failed. The only thing that matters now is what you're going to do in the next few hours before bed. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do, step by step, until the last revelation, which is the most powerful of all. If you really apply what I'm going to show you here, prepare for results that will seem like coincidence at first. But soon they will be repeated so often that you will understand. It is not by chance. It's intentional programming. Before proceeding, he already leaves his like and subscribes to the channel. This is not just a gesture of support. It is a vote of commitment to its own expansion. And if you want this knowledge to continue to come to you, that's how we keep this frequency active here. Now let's get into what no one talks about. For a long time, humanity saw sleep only as a biological process. But ancient cultures knew what modern science has recently begun to admit. Sleep is a portal, a direct passage between the physical world and the field of infinite possibilities. And that field, you can call it the universe, source, infinite intelligence, it doesn't matter, responds to the vibration with which you fall asleep. If you go to sleep worried, frustrated, doubting yourself, your mind cradles those emotions on the pillow. And worse, it carries all this to the next day, like software running in the background. What many people don't understand is that the subconscious doesn't turn off. It absorbs. It executes. And above all, it manifests that which has been fed repeatedly with feeling. That's where the mistake that 99% of people make comes in. They don't intend anything before bed. They erase with their heads full of noise, of comparison, of scarcity. And that stops everything. It's like sending a request to the universe and cancel even before it is processed. But there is a key, an almost secret practice, forgotten even by those who already study manifestation. A small act that, done with presence, changes the game. And the most curious thing, you don't need more than 3 minutes to do this. No materials, no tools, no expenses, just your focus, and a little reprogramming that happens just as you start to relax. This is where things start to get serious, because perhaps for the first time, you'll understand why certain people seem to attract opportunities so easily, while others struggle their entire lives. The difference is not in the effort. It's in the alignment. And alignment begins with the last thought before sleep. It is there that your brain, especially the part called the thalamus, decides what will be consolidated as emotional truth. Now listen carefully. You can implant mental images like seeds in this fertile soil of sleep. You can clearly put in the picture of your up-to-date bank account, of your ideal life, of the exact moment when you feel gratitude for what yet hasn't happened. And by repeating this with emotional intensity for a few nights in a row, your brain no longer distinguishes between imagination and reality. He starts acting as if it is already happening. It changes your behavior, your perception, your choices. And all of this shapes your reality. What happens in practice? Situations begin to line up. You think of something and the next day you get a message. A debt is forgiven. An unexpected amount comes in. And no, it's not magic. It's quantum mechanics applied to the neural field. But no one will explain it to you like that. They will say that it is a coincidence, that you were lucky. Only you will know that in fact, it was a seed planted with consciousness, watered before bed. If this makes sense to you so far, I want to invite you to try something that will help you deepen this process. There is a link in the first pinned comment that will open a new door for you. You don't need to leave the video now, just remember to click later. It is a practical extension of everything we are talking about here to help you anchor this new reality in your mind and in your results. Now, hold on tight. The deepest part is yet to come. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal to you exactly how to activate this pre-sleep state of manifestation in a safe, simple, and powerful way. Stay with me, because the last part is not only the most important. She is the one who really changes everything. Let's start by understanding one thing. You are not what you think. You are what you believe automatically, repeatedly, especially when no one is looking. And do you know when these beliefs reveal themselves the most? When you lie down. It is in the silence of the night that the truth comes out. No distractions, no social masks, no noise. It's when your mind is about to shut down that it shows you what's really going on behind your conscious desires. Maybe you say to yourself that you want to prosper, that you want more money, that you want freedom. But if, at this moment between tiredness and sleep, the dominant feeling is fear, insecurity, or doubt, then this is what is being registered. And that's what the universe reads, because the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are, to what you vibrate. Therefore, the secret is not to ask for stronger. The key is to become what you want to be before the world around you changes. And this transformation happens when you learn to use your most receptive state, the hypnagogic state, which is the stage between wakefulness and deep sleep. It's like being in a trance, but awake. And this state is pure gold for those who want to reprogram their minds. At that time, your brain starts to slow down. It leaves the beta waves, which we use in the alert state, passes through the alpha waves, relaxation, and enters the theta waves, where the subconscious lives. It is the same state as small children who absorb everything like a sponge. That is why the first years of life are so decisive. It is when beliefs are installed. The difference is that now, as an adult, you can access that same state, willfully, and to create new roots. This is where it all starts to make sense. If you go to sleep with a feeling of scarcity, no matter how much you say during the day that you are grateful, your real command is lack. But if you sleep with the thrill of abundance, even though nothing has changed yet, you plant a code in your energy field. This code expands. It attracts ideas, people, synchronicities. Reality is only the reflection of your field. And it's now that I want you to pay even more attention. Because you don't have to be a meditation master. You don't need years of study. You just need to learn how to activate your imagination in the right way, at the right time. What is this right? That's when your conscious mind starts to let go of control, and your subconscious takes over. That is, in the last 5 minutes before bedtime. And here's the practice that transforms lives. But calm down. This is not an empty technique. This is a paradigm shift. Before going to sleep, when you lie down, avoid any heavy visual stimulus. Television, cell phone, discussions, news. All of this throws emotional garbage on your field. Your brain will chew this while you sleep. The ideal is to create an environment of neutrality, or better yet, of positive intentionality. Lie down and close your eyes. Take about 3 deep breaths. It's not to meditate, it's just to silence the surface. Now imagine a scene, but not just any scene. Imagine waking up the next day and looking at your cell phone screen with a notification. A deposit has come in. 1,000 euros, 1,000 reais, $1,000. The currency does not matter. The important thing is to feel the surprise, the relief, the joy, the gratitude, as if it were real. See the details. Feel the bed, the light coming in through the window, your body reacting with an involuntary smile. It's not just visualization. It is a vibrational rehearsal. It's as if your body is learning to be this new version before it exists. And by repeating this night after night, you create familiarity with the vibration of abundance, and everything you are familiar with, you attract. Now let's take it a step further, because many still wonder, but why hasn't it happened yet? And here is a sensitive but necessary point. You have been conditioned, since you were a child, to distrust ease. It was taught that it is necessary to fight, sweat, sacrifice. So when something good seems to approach, you cut it yourself. You sabotage yourself. Because a part of you doesn't feel safe when receiving. That is why the practice before bed is not just a manifestation technique. It is an act of healing. You begin to teach your mind and body that it is safe to receive, that it is natural to thrive, that it is legitimate to live well. And the more you vibrate in this silent peace, the more doors open. And it's not just about money. It's about everything you know you deserve but don't have yet. Better relationships, health restored, living purpose. It all starts in the invisible. It all starts with how often you sleep. Remember that at the beginning I said that the last revelation would be the most powerful of all? The time has come. There is a blind spot in almost all law of attraction practitioners. They focus only on what they desire, but ignore the identity behind the desire. It's like trying to plant a tree in soil that you don't believe can sustain it. The final key is, you shouldn't just visualize the life you want. You need to visualize the version of yourself that lives that life. Before you go to sleep today, instead of just imagining the money coming, ask yourself, how does the version of me that already has this behave? How does it breathe? How does she walk? How does she decide things? How does she feel? This is the frequency you need to carry into your last thoughts. Because when you start sleeping like someone you already are, you start waking up like someone who already has it. And that's when everything changes. If you've come this far, you know it wasn't by chance. Something inside you is ready to take that leap. And if you want an extra push to put this into practice clearly, remember, the link in the first comment has exactly what you need. Do not ignore this call. Sometimes the universe speaks through a click. You start sleeping like you already are, and the moment you do, you change everything without even realizing it. Because when the mind begins to accept a new version of reality as possible, it moves, quietly, inside. And when the internal changes, the external organizes itself. Most people want to see it to believe it, but those who truly manifest know you have to believe to see. Not as blind faith, but as a state of inner certainty, a tranquility that comes not from logic, but from harmony. And no, you won't wake up tomorrow with a truckload of cash at the door. At least, not literally. But you can wake up differently, calmer, lighter, more connected with something that cannot be explained with words, but that begins to show results in a concrete way. You'll notice this when things that once seemed locked start to flow. When people disappear from your life and others come in, like exact pieces. When opportunities appear out of nowhere, you will only know that it was not out of nowhere. It was you, sleeping differently, thinking differently, vibrating differently. And maybe on any given Sunday you'll check your bank account without expecting anything, and there is an unexpected value, or a gift, or a golden chance. And at the time you will smile, Not by surprise, but by confirmation. Because now you know, you've turned on the frequency before bed. What seemed like a simple exercise was actually a portal. You weren't just accessing sleep, you were accessing your next reality. Without resistance, without calm presence. And there's one thing that no one talks about, but I need to say it. The universe does not reward deserving. It responds to frequency. You can be a wonderful, generous, hardworking person. But if it's vibrating in lack, it's going to respond with more of that. So stop thinking that you need to be more to get what you want. You already are. You just need to remember, and that's what remembering is. Close your eyes and feel. Lean your head on the pillow and imagine the life that awaits you, not as a distant dream, but as an inevitable scenario. Because the version of you that already lives this reality already exists. It's waiting for you in the quantum field. And every night you fall asleep vibrating in it, you close the distance. You pull this reality closer. You tune into what was already yours, but was blocked. The outside world will continue to say that it is luck, which is a coincidence, which is psychological. But you'll know, because what's happening to you is too real to ignore. You will sleep like someone who already has it. You will wake up as someone who already lives. And he will act as if he knows. This is the activation that 99% ignore. But now you're among the 1% who know. And what do you do with it? It's your choice. You can go back to the routine, to the automatic, to the pilot programmed by the limitations. Or you can close this video tonight, lie down, take a deep breath, and start all over again. Only this time, consciously. You can do this hoj.com, nothing but your imagination, and with everything that exists inside you. Because the greatest secret of all is that reality bends before waking consciousness. Not because the universe is your servant, but because it is your mirror. And when you change inside, he reflects. If that video touched something inside you, something that was dormant but is now starting to pulse, then leave your like and subscribe to the channel. It's a simple way to keep this content alive, but more than that, it's a symbolic gesture that you're ready to continue. The next step starts tonight. No need to wait. You don't need to have everything sorted out. It just takes courage to imagine, for real, a new life. And sleep with it in your eyes. See you in the next reality. Good night. Good luck. Good demonstration.